Hi, I'm Patrick, and in this video, I'm back here in American Truck Simulator. It's Realistic Economy series, day number 57. And I'm here in Lakeview, Oregon, where I've just picked up a bucket for a wheel loader. Maybe it's the wheel loader I brought here on Monday, I'm not sure. This guy here standing beside my truck isn't very informative. He just keeps rocking back and forth. Kind of like the rocks this bucket would be used to move around. But it's going up to Burns. This job is only paying $840, so it's going to be a 2-job day. So I'd better get on the road. Okay, so this is the second day of a new week, 12th week, in fact, and I gotta be careful here not to hit that fire hydrant. There we go. And apparently the floppy thing on my PS3 controller over there, when I went to turn the right turn indicator, it accidentally flopped and turned on the left. But that's fine. Nobody was around to be confused other than me. I'm always confused. Gotta watch the speed around here. It's only 25 mph. Oh, we got some skateboarders over here. They're wearing helmets and pads. They are not. They are not wearing helmets or pads. Oh, and that's a bus coming. Well, oops. But we're leaving town here on Monday. I came here with a wheel loader. Now I'm leaving town with a bucket from a wheel loader, so not sure if they're related, and doesn't really matter because somebody in Burns needs the bucket. Don't know who. Well, I mean, I kind of have a clue from the top info bar. BHP, brake horsepower? Is it a... No, it's... I have no idea what kind of company they are. I'm assuming that's the real world name for a company. But hopefully after dropping this thing off in Burns, I'll be able to get a job going up to maybe Pendleton or Kennewick is kind of where I'm hoping to get a job. And you know how I pulled out in front of that bus? Now that truck is pulled out in front of me, so there's a couple of abandoned rail cars over there for some reason. In Monday's video, I did stop and fill up the fuel tanks in the truck, and the maintenance on the truck it hasn't been long since I did maintenance, so hopefully everything is in good working order. Looks like this is one of those roads where there's a speed limit for automobiles and then a speed limit separately for commercial vehicles, semi-trucks specifically, limited to 60 according to that, but of course this is not a World of Trucks job, so I could go faster than 65. But then again, if I go more than 5 over the limit, there's a possibility of getting a speeding ticket. So, once again, the only reason I'm following the law is because I don't want to get in trouble for breaking it. Does that mean the law works? Yeah, you know what they say, locks keep the honest people out. Gotta say, this lake over here and the area around it is possibly one of the most unpleasant looking lakes in ATS that I know of, other than maybe the Great Salt Lake. But the Great Salt Lake is basically a big salty puddle in a desert. So of course it looks unpleasant. What excuse does this place have? Maybe it's also a great salt lake, I'm not sure. But this truck up ahead is going very slow and slowing me down, and I need to keep going. Hoping that at some point there's a passing lane, but if that ever comes, I'm guessing that that truck will suddenly be able to take off like a flash of lightning, and I won't be able to pass, and as soon as the passing lane is gone, I'll be stuck behind it again. It's like a head-on collision. Yeah, probably ought to slow down going around this curve. That was probably their problem too. The sign says that I need to be watching for cattle, apparently. I don't see any cattle around here. Do you? I see terrible mountain textures over there. No cattle though. So I've been mentioning lately that I've been trying to keep back up with my schedule of recording a video a week before it goes out. And today I'm actually managing to record this video more than a week ahead. I had the time and thought, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So here we are, on the road to Burns. Very desolate area. Desolate, is that the word? I don't know, I've never used that word. I don't think I have ever used that word in my life until just now. Congratulations. The 10 or 12 of you who are watching this video if any of you made it this far in, you just heard me use a word I've never said before. Desolate. I think it means something like doesn't have much around. Maybe it's French for of little, or who knows. I don't know. We got a little truck stop over here to the right, and a bus station over to the left, maybe? Interesting. Raleigh. Okay, so we're in Raleigh, Oregon, I guess. 100 and something miles there to John Day. Now, hopefully, during the second job, I'm hoping to pass through John Day. When Oregon first came out, I found John Day, Oregon, to be an interesting place. It's not on the map in ATS. It's based on a real-world small town between Burns and Pendleton, and it's well replicated, I think, in ATS. They did a halfway decent job of condensing a small town, and they even managed to put in a rest area and a service station, diesel station, gas station, I guess. And 45. Oh, we're in Burns already. I think their water tower is missing the water part over there. It's funny that I come to Burns when the last couple ATS videos have been speculating that maybe they should put solar farms and AI data centers in space to possibly block the sunlight from Springfield. White deer, that's interesting. Cemetery over there to the left. But this is Burns. Of course, there's a family restaurant there to the left. It's a race car they're going by. Not a lot. Seeing though, the Chevron station over here to the right. I've never really looked into Burns. I don't know how big of a city it is. Judging from what I'm seeing here, it's probably not a huge city, maybe a medium to smallish. I don't know. But our turn is coming closer, and by our I mean mine. But you are coming along, and of course we've got Boudreaux the bear over there in the chair, looking out everywhere and totally unaware of what I'm talking about because he's a stuffed bear. But anyway, interesting that there are 2 roads in and out of this place. And they have their own water tower. By the way, I took a screenshot back there. That is not a water tower. You can see right there, there's smoke coming out. It's some kind of smokestack. Let me see where to park. Probably going to take, I'm going to take the easy parking because like I said, this is a 2-job day, and I don't want to spend 10 minutes trying to park when, I can take the easy parking and only spend 5. Did I just hit it that easily? That was not expected. So let's see where to. So let's. I wasn't expecting to make that parking spot so easily. I forgot what to say. Let's see what I get. All right, 840. Exactly the amount that it said I would get. So let me see if I can find another job. Hopefully, like I said, Pendleton or Kennewick, or maybe somewhere else. Who knows? I'll be right back. All right, so I just had to come across the road to get this Bobcat wheel loader. It's a little bitty wheel loader, not a very big one at all, but it's heading up to Kennewick. So time to get back on the road. And you can see the job is only paying $644. So add that to the 800 and what was it, 840 that I got from the first job. That's, let's see, we'll just say 880 something plus 6 is what, 14. It's a little less than the 1500 that I would like to get in a day, but it's just going to have to be enough. Wasn't able to find any better paying jobs, which is how it goes. Which is how it goes sometimes. Let me turn my strobes on. Sometimes you just, if you want to go to a particular place, you just have to take the job that's available going there. And this has just been a lower paying day, I guess. I do know that on Friday's video, I'm not going to be so particular about where I'm going. I'll just find a place in Kennewick that has a job to do that's somewhere in Oregon or Washington, and I'll take it. And I'll be a lot less, picky for where it goes. So I'll be able to be more picky about how much it pays. There's 3 things when you're picking a job in ATS or ETS2. There's the distance, there's the pay, and there's the location. And you can't really pick all 3. You can always pick one. Sometimes, maybe even most of the time, you can pick 2. But very rarely are you able to pick all 3. I've got an itch on the back of my head, and if I scratch it, the head tracking goes crazy. Oh well. But the road through here, I know it's quite windy, and I'm going to go ahead and leave my engine brake on. I'm not going to be needing cruise control on this because I'll be speeding up and slowing down all the time. So far, I'm just happy that there's not a slow vehicle, although there is a stretch just before John Day where it's not unusual to encounter a combine in the road. Or maybe that's the other side of John. Actually, I think it's on the other side of John Day. Yeah. That may be actually closer to Pendleton. I can't remember. But yeah, you can already see on the GPS that this road is winding through the mountains of western Oregon, eastern Oregon, central Oregon. I don't know where I'm at. This is central Oregon, I think. Or maybe this is eastern. I'm not sure. There goes my loan, though, and yeah, another minute later than yesterday. So, I guess we're back to the old habit of the loan payment coming out a minute later every day. I'm not sure what happened, because for a little while it seemed like it was being pretty consistent, and then all of a sudden it was back to a minute later like it was earlier on in the series. You know, the weather in ATS and ETS2, the time of the year in both games is generally set sometime around summer. And right now in the real world, it is also summer in the northern hemisphere. And, of course, Europe is having a heat wave. I've been hearing about their horribly high temperatures, and they're pretty mild by American standards. We've got a heat advisory going on around here, I think. Temperatures in the high 90s. The humidity, of course, is ridiculously high, as usual. But, you know, we do have the advantage that we normalized air conditioners as soon as they were invented. Europeans didn't do that, and you know, I can totally understand. 75-degree day in a house with no air conditioner is a lot worse than an 80-degree day in a house with an air conditioner. But we're in John Day, and I don't know if they have air conditioners there, because even in parts of the U.S., they don't have them. But here we have the party that never ends. I've been coming through here and taking screenshots of that party that is going on since the first time I rolled through here when Oregon was released. But the party, like I said, the party never ends. Now, over the years, some things in this town, John Day, Oregon, in real life have changed. Some of these businesses have gone out of business. But if you look in Street View, thanks to the wonderful Street View cam car that came through here a few times over the years, you can compare this area to the real John Day, Oregon. And I'm always impressed when I do that for towns around the map, that even though they are towns that SCS didn't include for being on the map. Flashers came on, probably because I went slightly wide in that turn. Even though they didn't put the city on the map, they did go to the trouble of creating the town and making it look as close to reality as they could, under the limitations of how they have to make the game. Because obviously at the scale that I think it's 1 to 1. Is it 1 to 20 scale? Something like that. You can't, recreate everything, but they even when they did Oregon, they were good at making it look close enough. And they have really gotten better over the years. They've really improved, fitting more stuff into small spaces. There's the Combine. But there's another one without a header that's usually on the road around here sometimes. But anyway, I've got a slow truck coming up this hill, but that's fine because I also need to go slow around this curve. Probably should go ahead and turn the engine brake back on. There was actually another job going a little further up into Washington that I could have taken. It would have been $1,000, but it would have been pushing the time because I have to be finished driving by, well, I try to finish the day at 7. And looking at the time for this job is going to finish at 5. So, and that's just an estimate. It could be, and it's likely to actually be a little bit later, and definitely later before I get the trailer unloaded, because they take about half an hour for unloading the trailer. Have to be very careful here because I've got to get over into oncoming lane, and I didn't want to hit that woman who was standing there, probably asking that other driver for his insurance information. So I had 2 reasons for wanting to come. I just like, first of all, I wanted to go through John Day because it's been a long time since I've been in this region in ATS. And, there's I don't know if that's a hidden road or if it's just a shortcut over there that you can take. But this is one of the first roads that I enjoyed just for the scenery in ATS. So I'm kind of just wanted to get up in this area to look around. And yeah, Oregon and Washington could both use some rework, but a lot of it is still pretty good. This area is still pretty good. This was also an area that had wildlife on the side of the road that you could pass by and see. You can see the deer, or I guess they're deer. They look like deer. I don't think they're big enough to be elk. But at the same time, I think they could really use some work on the mountain textures. textures in general. I'm pretty sure I've got my grass turned all the way to the top in the graphic settings. I have most of the settings set to either high or ultra. But honestly, I am not, it doesn't hurt my eyes going through here. That's for sure. There's those tracks in the road where some farm equipment passed through here apparently. You can tell that this is farming area. Combines, cattle. But we're coming into Pendleton. Now I'm going to stay in the left lane because I'll be turning up here. Looking down at the fuel gauge, it's looking like I've got plenty of fuel. I did, over the top of that trailer, see that the light just turned green, so on we go. I just checked the, what is it? I don't even know what it's called anymore. The information panel, the F1 key, which pauses the screen and you can check your truck damage information. And it's showing 2% truck and trailer, which sounds like it's not that bad. Here we go. Once you get through Pendleton, Kennewick is just on the other side of the state line. And I still haven't figured out what the green icon is on the what's that? The indicator bar. I still don't know what the green icon means. I probably ought to start pushing buttons sometimes and see if I can figure it out. Hey, this is Future Patrick, and I just thought I would let you know that if you push the F6 button, it comes up with the widget options. And if you go to indicators, there's a question mark. If you click that, show icons, look here, all the icons. So that icon means lane keeping support. And you can see all the other icons. The other question marks don't open anything. It's only that one that opens something. All right. we're on the highway now, so I'm going to set the speed to 67. Yeah. I just saw a bus move over, merging in, and it's going kind of slow. That worked out okay. But yeah, I already see Kennewick popping up on the screen at the top of the GPS window. Also, there is a way station coming up. Are they going to call me in? I don't know. We'll find out. But we are finally in Washington, the state, not the District of Columbia. They do want me to pull in, so here we go. I checked the truck situation, and it looks like it's okay to me. But you know, the DOT inspector is the guy who decides whether it's okay or not. And the inspector said it's fine. So here we go. Don't even have to change the lane here. Kennewick's discovered. You know, I've got to say, the hood mirrors on this truck have been very useful. They were a good decision to put those on. They make it a lot easier when I'm merging into traffic to be able to see if there's somebody coming from behind, because like that right there is as far as I can turn my head using the head tracking. With the mouse, that's about all I get. So it's like the destination's up here on the right, so I'm going to stay in the right lane. When you're at a red light, do you ever look over at the other cross-traffic light to see what it's doing? Like I just did. I looked over to see if that light had started turning red, and I saw it was turning yellow. Maybe it's impatience. Maybe it's just, you know, sitting at the light with nothing else to do. No train? That's convenient. But here we are. So let me turn in here and see where to park. Alright, so I should be able to do that, no problem. And as I always say, the easier the parking spot, the longer it takes to park. Yeah, it's not going to take that. See what I mean? Let me stick my head out here. I still say it makes no sense to park a lowboy in a place like this because I'm still going to have to unload it. This is a weird place to drop it off. But it took it, so I want to take it. So let's see what we get. I mean, I already know what I'm going to get. It's 644. But anyway, the XP is always a surprise. Okay, so that's what we got for today. I'll be back, like I said, on Friday's video, which will be Wednesday in game, and we'll see where we end up. Until then, thanks for watching and have a nice day.